All right, what's going on, YouTube? So today I decided to watch a little bit of Danny Jacobs. All right, I watched some of the Dimitri Perogue fight, and I saw some of the Caleb Truax fight. Okay, which is on the PPC YouTube channel. Okay, the reason why I picked that fight to watch instead of like the Sergio Mora fights or the Peter Quillen fight is because that fight lasted a little bit longer. Okay, I didn't watch the whole fight, but I just wanted to watch a few rounds just to see if there was anything in there as far as Jacobs' boxing ability. You know, because the fight just got announced that he's fighting Triple G in March. Okay, and it's going to be in New York, so I kind of want to go to the fight because I do like Danny Jacobs, and he's a New York native. He's from Brooklyn. So I kind of want to go to the fight, but I really don't think Danny Jacobs has a shot at winning this fight, you know, and I don't want to go to a fight that, you know, Triple G is just going to go and knock him out. I mean, I know I did see the Dominic Wade fight, but, you know, I kind of want to support because it is a good fight, you know. I mean, Danny Jacobs, I thought Danny Jacobs should have fought him a long time ago. But like I said, I was trying to see if there was anything that would give me something, if something was there that would make me feel that Danny Jacobs has a shot. You know, most people don't think Danny Jacobs is going to win this fight. But after the performance against Kell Brook, there's a lot of people that feel that Gennady Golovkin can lose to Danny Jacobs, okay? And might get exposed by Danny Jacobs, might get knocked out by Danny Jacobs. I do see a little bit of that. Not too much, but I see it. I've seen it, okay? And especially coming off of that fight, being that that was a bad performance by Triple G. Well, most people feel it was, okay? And then Danny Jacobs is coming off of the momentum of knocking Peter Quillen out, which was, you know, Peter Quillen, a lot of people considered him to be the second best guy at 160, you know, all this time after, you know, Triple G. A lot of people feel that Triple G needed to fight him to prove himself, prove his resume or whatever. This is how I feel, right? And I'm gonna do a full prediction, you know, when the time comes, if the fight really happens. You know how boxing is today. Fight really might not happen. Somebody might get injured or whatever. But my first thoughts on it, I obviously think Triple G is gonna win this fight, right, by a knockout. You know, I've listened to a couple of people, and the thing is, I personally believe that Kell Brook is a more skilled boxer than Danny Jacobs, okay? I don't think he hits as hard, but I think he's more skilled, okay? I think him being able to take those punches for Triple G for as long as he did, I don't think Danny Jacobs is as durable as Kell Brook. You know, I just don't. I think, you know, Kell Brook, I know Sean Porter is a welterweight fight, but handling Sean Porter the way that he did was very impressive, okay? It was a very ugly fight, very physical fight. And, you know, we already know what happened in Kell Brook in his past when he fought Carson Jones in that first fight where he took a lot of punishment in that fight. So the guy, you know, he has 3 fights that I've seen him take a lot of punishment, okay? I wouldn't say Sean Porter was punishment. It was just a lot of, it's very physical, you know? You know, he did take some big shots. He took a lot of shots to the body. He had to wrestle around with Sean Porter for 12 rounds, all right? No one really wants to do that, you know? But he passed, and he actually looked better than Keith Thurman. The reason why I'm bringing up Kell Brook is not only because it was Triple G's most recent fight, but I just think Kell Brook is the more skilled boxer. You know, pound for pound, I think he's more skilled than Danny Jacobs. I think he is. You know, if they were to fight at 160, I might even go with Kell Brook for that one. You know, because I just think he can outbox Jacobs. I think it won't be, it might be a close fight. But I just believe that Kell Brook is a better boxer. You know, and the reason, and I say that to say this, A lot of people think that Danny Jacobs has the skills. They say that he can outbox Golovkin, you know, on top of him having the power, which I think he does. He does hit hard. He does crack. It's just that I'm hearing outbox. I'm hearing that, and I'm like, I don't think Danny Jacobs, and I like him. It's not to diss him. I just don't think Danny Jacobs is that skilled, you know. Not only do I think Kell Brook is more skilled, but I also think there's a few guys at 154 that is more skilled than Danny Jacobs, okay? We recently saw what Jamal Charlo did, you know? If they were to fight today, if Jamal says, okay, I'm going up to 160, I'm going to fight Danny Jacobs. If that fight were to happen, I will probably be leaning towards Jamal Charlo. If Lara says I'm moving up to 160, I'm going to fight Danny Jacobs, I will probably lean towards Lara to win that fight. It's not a diss. Jacobs could crack. He's skilled. All right. He got skills. I'm not trying to. He has a good jab. All right. He has solid defense. He moves well. You know, I mean, the dude is a skilled boxer. I'm not trying to diss him. I just don't see him on that level. And when people say people are expecting Jacobs to outbox him, I don't think he can do that, you know? Especially if you watch the Dimitri Pereira fight. And I know that fight was, you know, a while ago. You know, I know a lot has happened since that fight. But I've been watching Jacobs for a while now. And that's not one guy that I've seen that I think dramatically improved since that fight. You know? And I haven't seen Jacobs fight anyone like that since he lost to Pereira. He has not fought anyone like that. You know? The two ways I see Danny Jacobs fighting is when he is on his back foot and when he is on the move, when he fought Pereira, because Pereira was the aggressor in that fight. You know, and Danny Jacobs was landing, you know, he was landing his jabs, he was landing right hands, you know, he was landing some big shots, but you understand, the guy was on the move the whole time. He was on the ropes a lot of that fight. He had to keep moving because Pereira was being aggressive. Pereira was in his face, all right, making him miss. And then whenever Jacobs landed, he wasn't sitting down on his punches like that because he was always on the move, you know? And he hasn't fought anyone like that. And Triple G is going to be the first guy that's going to make him move. He's going to be forced into moving a lot. His back will be on the ropes, okay? This guy, Triple G, is going to out-jab him, all right? And I just don't think Jacobs is as durable, okay, as some of the other guys like Lemieux. You know, I think Lemieux took a lot of punishment in that fight. I don't think Jacobs can't withstand that much punishment. He can't. He doesn't have that type of chin. Just like Peter Quillin did. Quillin didn't have that type of chin. You know? Quillin was always questionable before he fought Jacobs. He always was questionable. Alright? Didn't get knocked down a lot, but he's been hurt and wobbled in a lot of those fights. You know, the Endom fight. You know, the Gabe Rosado fight. Okay, the Andy Lee fight. Alright, and then he gets knocked out by Jacobs. Alright? It's always been a little bit questionable. Alright, and I feel the same way about Danny Jacobs. I think Danny Jacobs is good. He is a top middleweight. But this whole skill set, outboxing thing, I really don't know about that. You know, I really, it's like, I don't know, you know? I don't know, you know? And me personally, this is how I think it's going to go. I think the first knockdown is going to be by a jab. Okay? Because we already know what Triple G does. Throws his jab, protects his face while he's throwing it. Alright? And it's a strong jab. He's usually coming forward when he throws it. It's going to be that jab. You know? It's going to be the jab. I think they're going to trade jabs. And I think it's going to hurt Danny Jacobs. And he might even get knocked down, just like Andre Ward did in his fight with Kovalev, you know? Was that a jab? I believe it was a jab. But anyway, I think it's going to be a jab that's going to knock him down. I think it'll be a jab that's going to hurt him, you know? Maybe more than once before the fight is over. But I just don't, you know, right now, you know, And before the fight, I'm definitely going to watch more film because I want to be sure. But my first initial thoughts right now is Danny Jacobs is getting knocked out. You know, and this power, I know people say he has the power to knock out Triple G. He has a power, but he's not. When he's dominant, he is coming forward, he is flat-footed, and he has more leverage, and he's sitting down his punches. Right? When he's in control. When he's fighting guys like Caleb Truax and Sergio Mora, guys that he's not afraid of, guys that he can just walk down and beat up, that's where the power is coming in because he's sitting down on everything. But when he's fighting guys like Dmitry Pirog, and when he fights Triple G, a guy that's going to have him going backwards and moving, and you know he's going to be forced to use a more lateral movement. He's not going to be able to fight a flat-footed fight, you know, and he's not going to be able to trade with Triple G. He's not going to be able to trade with him. You know, he's not. He doesn't have the chin to trade with Triple G. He just doesn't have it. Okay? You know, and that's another thing. He doesn't move, you know, I think he moves well, but when he's doing well, he has to be aggressive. He has to be aggressive in this fight. Because yeah, it's a higher risk you might get knocked out, but at least there's a risk that you might hurt him. If you go in there thinking you're to outbox him and outscore him, no, it's not going to work that way. It's not going to work on that. Now, he doesn't need to go in there and try to land a haymaker. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying be aggressive, but be smart about it. You know, don't be in there relaxed trying to coast at no point because this guy is going to be on your ass the whole time, you know? I don't really think he has a shot to win. I mean, this is boxing. I didn't think he would beat Quillin because I thought Quillin was just more experienced and had the tougher fights. But he did. And I'm glad Jacobs won because I was actually rooting for him. But I didn't think he would pull the win off. But this is a different ball game, you know. And not only that, you're not only fighting a guy that hits very hard, but you're fighting a guy that throws a lot of punches per fight. He has a great jab, and he has a great chin. You know, Triple G can bang it out, can trade with you, he can exchange with you. You know, so I know a lot of people don't think Triple G is that good because of the Kell Brook performance. I'm telling you right now, I'm sure he's heard what people were saying about him after that performance. And I'm expecting a David Lemieux-like performance against Danny Jacobs. That's my honest opinion. You know, unless something else changes, you know, I mean, I'm definitely going to hear what you guys are saying. I'm definitely going to listen to what people are saying. You know, I'm going to definitely read the comments. I'm definitely probably watch other prediction videos. But I just don't think Danny Jacobs have it, you know. So I hope the fight does happen. You know, hopefully nothing crazy happens until then. And just wanted to make a quick video on it. There's a lot of other fights coming up. And I'm gonna end it at that and leave it right there, right? So let me know what you guys think. What are your thoughts on this fight? I don't think Jacobs have a chance, but if you think he does, definitely leave me comments on why you think Jacobs will win and what does he have, what tools can he use to expose Triple G in there, okay? All right, and make sure you guys hit subscribe. Peace.